it's time for the UFOs. Who's ready for UFOs, people? We're ready for the UFOs. All right, folks. It's a big week in UFO news. Oh, UAP news, whatever. All right, folks. Before we get to S4, I want to say one thing. It fucking happened! Disclosure, folks! We got disclosure. It happened. Yes, this week, the Pentagon came out with their report on UAPs. Yes. And guess what they did? They let us know what's going on. So, in the original document, all the classifications of off-world creatures, we'll call them, were called NHI, which stands for non-human intelligence, which is broad, right? It could be artificial intelligence from space. It could be the creatures that are living under us, right? Non-human intelligence, broad. Guess what they did? They took 135 NHI in their document. There's NHI, there's NHI, then and they took them all out. And you know what they replaced them with?
What?
They replaced them with extraterrestrial. That's the ball game, folks. NHI was removed for extraterrestrial. Do you understand what that means?
They are affirming that they are aliens.
They are affirming that they are from here. Extraterrestrial definitionally means they are not from planet Terra, not from Earth. Right?
Right.
Well, they're not. They were originally called.
Earth.
No, so NHI was the original name in the language, which means any intelligence that is not human, right? That is, and so they said, no, we're going to change that to off-world people. And then all the legislation means nothing because the things that we're dealing with, they're not off-world. They live here. This is their planet.
It was extraterrestrial.
No, God damn it. This is so complicated. Extraterrestrial means off-world life form.
Yeah.
And so they changed the documentation to say, we will turn over all evidence of off-world life forms. There's none. All right, we're done here. And they changed the word to off-planet life forms or extraterrestrial when it was NHI because they knew if NHI would have made it into the final language, then they would have to address all of the intelligence that's non-human, not just the ones off of some planet millions of miles away. That's the game. Why would they fight? They fought for that. They fought for extraterrestrial.
So they're saying that they're non-human.
They fought for ET.
They're non-human, but they are from this Earth. From Earth.
They are non-human intelligence. They are not extraterrestrial. That is what we have been given. They're not from out there. They're from here. The original language started like, they're from here. And then they changed it to like, no, from there.
Huh.
And then they said, no, there's nothing from there. Hello? I mean, come on, people. Come on. So congratulations to the Locust people. You let us know you're here. So anyway, back to the video. S4. So it's a big week in UAP news. We got documentation that it's happening. And let's talk about S4. Area 51 S4 in Groom Lake is where a lot of this shit is supposed to be happening. I'm sort of like 50-50 on all this shit now because I have read enough to know the CIA PSYOPs programs are real. They really want us to be disinformationed out here, so I could be giving you a ton of disinformation. Or I could be giving you the real, and I wish they would hire me, is all I'm saying. But anyway, what's this for?
So, oh wow, this is interesting. I've never heard this before. So you're saying that you were provided with direct witness evidence of the existence of a facility known as S4 at Groom Lake, Area 51.
That's right, from Albert Stein, who was a guy that worked in Project Blue Book for many years on his deathbed.
Wow.
You used to work at Area 51. And Area 51, you went like, huh?
Well, we want to be
Careful.
accurate.
Okay.
Area S4.
S4. Okay.
It's about 15 miles south of Area 51.
Okay.
But
Facility that this whistleblower named Victor says the interview program takes place in. We have proven this facility exists south of Area 51 with a government FOIA request. It was built by the CIA back in the late 50s as a biological retainment facility, underground biological retainment facility. It was then passed over to the Air Force, who then let the DIA operate inside of it, and the DIA operating with the Department of Naval Intelligence. So the facility that this whistleblower, this hoax tape, says the interview program takes place, we have a FOIA document saying the facility is real. It was built in the 60s. It's called S2 Alpha Site 2. The building is called S2 Annex. So I've proven the facility.
So, that's evidence that something exists out there. Now, are they just making planes? Yay, planes for us to fight the Russians. Or are they back engineering terrestrial, not extraterrestrial? Why didn't they use the word terrestrial or extraterrestrial? No, they said extraterrestrial, ETs. Yes, that is the head fake, folks. Please understand, that's the juke. We're looking over here for aliens. Look below.
Okay, so on the UAP report.
Now, this is the man that gave us the UAP report that said extraterrestrials don't exist. Now that we've talked about it, let's watch a little more, answer some questions. He doesn't say non-human intelligence. He doesn't say life forms that aren't us. No, they pick a very specific Steven Spielberg type of word.
The Pentagon concluded that there is no evidence of UAPs being off-world technology, but it also
You notice she says off-world.
said the government set up programs to reverse engineer such technology. Why did the government plan to study off-world technology if it says it doesn't have any proof?
Oh, yes, they put patents on off-world technology. They have documents about them studying it, but it doesn't exist. So why?
Yeah, so as you highlight, no verifiable evidence that any UAP sighting represented extraterrestrial activity.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
He can say that now as a government official, not lying, under oath, because they're not extraterrestrial. Do you see their game they're playing?
That the U.S. government or private industry has ever had access to extraterrestrial technology, or that any information was illegally or inappropriately withheld from Congress, and alleged hidden UAP reverse engineering programs either do not exist or were misidentified authentic national security programs unrelated to extraterrestrial activity or
You see what they're doing?
technology exploitation.
Right now, the people the locusts that live below us are like, good job. Because if you think about it, if they wanted to be known, they'd be known. They don't. Disclosure is a human act, not a locust act. There might be a locust or two that want it, but overall, no, the swarm does not want that.
So what we found is that
We are an invasive species that destroys everything. Why would they want to they don't want us to know they're here. What do you think we do? We're just going to destroy them too. We are a virus.
claims of hidden programs are largely the result of circular reporting by a small group repeating what they heard from others, and that many people have sincerely misinterpreted real events or mistaken sensitive U.S. programs as UAP or being extraterrestrial exploitation.
I had a conversation with one individual who told me that when they
This is some people reacting to what they've seen in Congress.
walked out of seeing one of the videos that they'd been shown in a secure secure compartmentalized information facility, one of the rooms that they use to brief congressmen and women and senators. They said their world had changed because of what they'd seen. Now, the thing that I thought was most telling wasn't the reference to Roswell in Andre Carson's opening. It was the fact that the default video that they defaulted to was possibly, I'm told, the least interesting video in the cupboard. That of all the videos that they could have selected, they weren't prepared. They hadn't actually provided a way to actually freeze on the object that they were saying was represented in that video, which was essentially a blurry metallic sphere that zooms by an aircraft, a fighter aircraft at high speed. The key issue was that was one of the least interesting videos, I'm told, of what the Congress has been shown. Why did they do that? Why did they deliberately pick a video that was the most banal, uninteresting of the lot? The one that gave the debunkers an opportunity to go, oh, is that the best you've got? Seriously, this is not going to be more blurry videos, is it? When I'm told, I mean, I've spoken to people who've seen the 23-minute video, this apocryphal video that is apparently incredibly high definition, which shows a very clear, structured craft, a machine, a technological object in the air, taken by a US military pilot, detected, by the way, on multiple sensor systems, incontrovertibly a solid object, a piece of technology.
Oh, I want to see it.
What I got worried about by the way the hearing was conducted was I got the distinct impression that what the two witnesses were trying to do was walk back from the admissions that had actually been made by their own UAP task force in June.
Yes. People were bought off. People were threatened. And if you don't think they could be threatened, go ask that Boeing whistleblower. Like, hey, we're halfway done through testifying in the Boeing case where you're going to cost them billions. Oh, you're going to kill yourself in the parking lot. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, people, don't kid yourself. These aren't conspiracy theories when they happen daily in front of you. But just keep your eyes open, that's all. And here, let's set the record straight. Where are we? What do we know? Let's just get on the table what we know.
I would prefer to take this opportunity of perspective, which is, of course, the theme of this MUFON Symposium, to share with you my list of facts, and then try to take you beyond the fringe of this phenomenon and into the heart of the abduction scenario. Facts. Fact number 1. We do not know with any certainty exactly what these entities may be. Extraterrestrial, interdimensional, terrestrial in origin, some combination of all of the above, something we have yet to even dream of. Fact number 2, at least some of the aliens are liars. Fact number 3, in encounters.
That's scary.
Mm-hmm.
That is frightening, because you would think a more evolved species would not have the need to lie, but they are lying because we need to be lied to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's so
The
scary.
human's perceptions are controlled, as are the human's conscious memories. Fact number 4, false memories can overlay and disguise the actual events of an encounter. Fact number 5, while we report our experiences honestly and sincerely, we are really reporting alien-controlled information to the research community. Fact number 6.
That is scary.
That's really scary.
There is no alien community. There is no disclosure. It's all controlled by them.
6. There's a serious element of human involvement in the abduction phenomenon, in addition, of course, to the very real alien participation.
Yeah, it's very simple.
Oh, that's
We're
scary.
allowed to breed and live on the surface, and they're allowed to eat about 1 million of us a year. That's the deal. And it's a pretty good one. I
Because
mean,
what
those
she said was that there's human parts of the abductions too, as well as the non-human.
yes, there's the deal. We have a deal.
Oh.
Because it's basically like, we're going to eat you anyway. So we're like, okay, well, how can we limit that? And that's what we've been doing for the last 60 years, is trying to figure out a way to combat us being eaten at about 1 million a year in the world. Yes,
Wow.
we are in the food chain, but because there's so many of us, the aliens know. Listen, if we were really evolved, we could just make 1 billion cows and only eat 100 of them. You know what I'm saying? And let the other cows have happy lives.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to eat 100 of you.
Fact number 7. Whatever else it be, the abduction agenda involves quite physical aims and procedures that tend to belie the idea of a primarily spiritual motivation on the aliens' part. And much of what
Yes, why the anal probing if you're God?
we see in these procedures goes well beyond the alleged aim of a crossbreeding program. Fact number 8. All of the things that I've described to you so far are part of the aliens' physical aims and procedures. But that isn't all there is to their motivations. The agenda also involves the long-term psychological programming of the abductee. It targets, among other
No, they're like ex-girlfriends.
concepts, our social and personal relationships, our sexuality, our political ideas, and our religious and spiritual concerns. Fact number 9. With their advanced technology, the aliens can create virtual reality scenarios that are usually absolutely real to the perceptions of the targeted abductee. Fact number 10, and this is the last and
Well, if that was true, we would have never known they were here. If you think about it, like if they're...
Unless they want us to know something about them, just not
That's the rub.
everything.
That's the rub. If they're so technologically advanced, we wouldn't know they're here. Why do they want to know that we're here? Why? That is why I always think, like, what is this?
my short list of facts. It is a fact that the aliens show a mysterious interest in the human soul. Now, this part of the phenomenon is so rarely discussed in public that I don't think we really have a good pool of data to proceed on a serious discussion, but I'd like to bring it up because it is a fact that the interest is there and mysterious, and we should be concerned about it.
Yes, they seem to like to eat us. Our soul seems to be the tasty
soul.
part. Yes. Or whatever the soul, what we identify as a soul might just be an energy inside of us at another dimension, and we're just the container for it, and it's like a little shot for them. Like, oh, what are you doing tonight? I don't know. Oh, there's Cindy. Oh, there's DJ Electra.
Interesting.
When we started TT.
And I would like to submit that the CIA is very heavily involved in all of this. They're information people.
Yes.
And they're watching. Hi, CIA. Not saying they're specifically watching, but they're all.
TSA, back in the day, we had discussions about this all the time. Are we sure we want to bring this out? I mean, are we going to scare 8-year-olds? I've had friends of mine who, oh, my daughter wants to know all about UFOs. Can she talk to you about it? And I would say, no, yeah. I'm not talking to you about this. What am I going to tell her? Or him, these little kids, 10, 11 years old. Yeah, that there's a force that exists out there that can control our environment, that can put thoughts in your head, that can lie to you, trick you, deceive you, and that you're not in control of your life. Say that to a 12-year-old. I mean, we're already saying it to a certain extent.
Well, you just did.
Yes. Director of Operations at CIA, by the way.
That's crazy.
To be quite honest.
All right, so this is from the 1960s. It's a film about abductees and what they saw. And it's like 20 fucking minutes long, so I only picked like 2 minutes.
When I'm outside and I walk and I see crowds of people on Wall Street and Axel Street, I look at them and I say to myself, I wonder how many of them have been abducted.
Yeah, it's just...
Imagine just for 1 minute that you were abducted by some sort of species that we don't know about, and you've been going through that, and no, you can't relate to anyone, and you find a group of people that have gone through that, you would hug them tightly.
The flood. I don't know how many people there actually are, but I would estimate at least in this country anywhere in the tens of thousands, probably more.
Was that you?
Sorry, wrong button.
The screen memory.
I only ask because the song that I played earlier, and I was like, God damn, is that me or you? But it was
in
me.
the classical psychological sense, means that the person sees a traumatically frightening event and then softens it by inventing some other story. But this is not that. This is not something that the person makes up, himself or herself. This seems to be an image which is
These are all pictures of real experiences that people have. Or a cartoon.
externally imposed into that person's memory by the aliens themselves.
You know, it was just strange to me. And then I realized that they weren't wearing goggles. That was their eyes. And they weren't wearing helmets. That was the shape of their heads.
The thing that they will always start to draw first is the eyes, because the eyes are so arresting. It's difficult to even, you might not remember anything else but the look of the eyes.
The only thing I could really compare it to was that there were like 1950s Italian wraparound sunglasses that went around to the side of his head.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was just a little taste of what people who have been abducted say they go through. And, you know, 100, maybe they're all crazy. 1,000, maybe they're all crazy. We're up into the hundreds of thousands of people. So only one has to be right. That's the scary thing about aliens. It's a one and done situation. Only one has to be right. All right, where do the real or fakes? Okay. Put a 1 in the chat if you think it's real. Put a 2 in the chat if you think it's fake. This is from Japan.
Está flotando. ¿Qué es eso? Nunca había visto esto así. No, yo tampoco. Es que la luz se mueve. No. Pero los platos no se mueven, mira. Exacto, ¿ya mira? Y la luz está más fuerte. No.
They're speaking Spanish.
Yo me voy porque a mí me da miedo esto.
Because they have, you know, Spanish people in Japan.
Okay.
I don't think it's Japan. Oh, what the fuck?
Ahí viene. Ya está bajando. No. Está cambiando de color.
All right. What'd you think of that one? I put a 1 in the chat.
No.
I put a 1 in the chat on that one. It's real. All right. Welcome to Popocatépetl, the volcano. I think it's Peru. Bolivia or Peru. And watch above what happens. Watch above. This is a nighttime camera on the volcano that is active. What is that above? What? Now keep watching. Oh, is that a ship that just came into orbit?
Oh, wow.
So much goes on we don't know about DJ Electrify. Isn't it exciting? That thing came out of hyperspace into this galaxy.
Yeah, it looks like a portal.
Look, it's in a straight line. It keeps going. What does that? What is that?
Huh.
Keeps going. There it goes. It's still going. Still going. Oh, that one was crazy. Did you see that?
But I lost it. Where is it now?
It's still in the middle of the screen. No, one more. There we go. That's so fucking crazy. And I think that's it. I think there's no more.
I don't know. I couldn't see it.
No, it just kept moving down. And yeah, that's all now. I don't see it moving anymore. Ah, that's a 1. What the fuck was that? What was that? It was like... All right. Last week, we announced that they were going to have some bodies appearing in Los Angeles this week. Well, they did it. And let me tell you, it was a giant fucking dud. I got on there early, and then they said, "Hi, we're here," and they had no sound. So it was like watching a StreamYard with someone who doesn't know how to run StreamYard. And they finally got that working, and they're like testing the mummy out, and they broke a goddamn toe off.
Oh no.
I was like, that's not scientific. Whatever you say after that doesn't matter. But they did have metal in them, and they're weird. You can't trust this. You can't trust this. This is off the table. Get it out of here. We can't look at this as real evidence. It's just the people who are doing this are driving around with them in a trunk in Los Angeles. This isn't real.
Yeah.
All right, people, do you remember when Ross Coulthard, the guy that's always talking about aliens, said there was an alien ship so big they had to build something around it?
Yes.
You remember when he said that? And I said, the Baghdad Embassy. Well, let me introduce you to the Baghdad Memorial for the Fallen Soldier. Oh, look at that. Something they built for multiple hundreds of millions of dollars. And what does it look like? What does it look? It's for the unknown soldiers. Yes, in Iraq.
It doesn't really look like a memorial.
No, it does not. It looks very much like a spaceship.
Yeah.
And that is what Ross Coulthard said. And so I said, yes, it's got to be the embassy. But look at this thing. It's hard to see. I have another picture from above. There it is. The Monument to the Unknown Soldier is a monument in central Baghdad built by Italian architect Alien de Alien, based on a concept by Iraq sculptor Ant Person, and constructed between 79 and 82. It was dedicated to the martyrs of the Iran-Iraq War in 1986. The Nation of Congress Great Celebration Square was built near the monument. Yes, the Unknown Soldiers Monument, because if you remember, Ross Coulthard said they built a monument around it. Oh, they built a structure around it. They didn't say America did.
Right.
And I think this is what they found. There is a ship. There is an alien ship under that so big they couldn't move it. So what did they do? They built a monument to the unknown soldier. You understand how that works? Your mind would never think what is under there. But we know. Or it could be. That is my guess. Let's go to Baghdad and find out. Hail.
Not on my destination list, really.
No, and it's time for some reading. We love reading here. Oh, Vicky Verma, one of our favorite UFO people. U.S. pilot Captain William Schaffner was sent to intercept a UFO over England. His plane was found in the sea, but his body was missing. The cockpit was sealed shut. Yes, this happened a lot. Just mysterious disappearances where there's no parachute, cockpit was closed. Where did they go? We'll never know. Or maybe we will. I like this music. I maybe made this part a little long. There we go. All right. You guys, I live here in California, and we all know about the Malibu alien base off the coast, you know? But it's gone now.
I didn't know about this.
Oh, no, we've all known about this. Yes, off the coast of Malibu, there's this giant structure. But guess what? Look on the one on the top left. Google has erased it. Or tried to, anyway. Why is Google Maps erasing things that we think are alien bases? That seems suspect. I'm just saying, don't do that. Don't do that. But many people have seen ships flying out of there, all sorts of weird anomalies with electromagnetic. You can't get it. Like, if you're out there, all right, if you're out there with a compass, I've been out there with a compass. It doesn't like spin, it does this.
Oh.
Goes from north to south, just back and forth, so you don't really know where you are. It's crazy. All right, let's give you a 100 years ago, almost, in Flat Mesa near Utah. This reminds me, did you ever see the movie Nope?
No.
Okay, well, if you have, people, this very much is where I think they got the movie Nope from. So this is one of the first recorded reports of a UFO. Donwood Jr. Yes, Don. You know Don, and another American landed in a two-seater plane on Flat Mesa in the Nevada desert. They noticed something coming into land. It was round and flat like a saucer, about 8 feet across with a reddish underside. It skidded to a stop about 30 feet away. They walked up to it and found that it was an animal-like thing. Nothing they'd seen before. It had a Mecha-like body, but no visible eyes or legs. It was hurt. And as it breathed, the top would rise and fall, making a half-foot hole around it like a clam opening and closing. A hunk had been chewed out of the side of the rim, from which a metal-looking froth issued. After a 20-minute rest, it started pulsating again and grew very bright, except for when it was hurt. It tried to raise up, but sank back again. Suddenly, the men saw a much larger animal, 30 feet across, approaching. It settled on the smaller one with 4 sucker-like tongues. Then it grew to dazzling and to look at, and both of them rose up straight up and shot out of sight in a second. At an estimated speed of 1,000 miles per hour, again, 1925.
Huh.
They left behind an awful stench, which you always hear. The frothy stuff the little creature had bled looked like a fine aluminum wire, and there was frothier, wiry stuff in the 31st circle where the big creature had been. The material finally melted in the sun. That was David Pratt, 1959.
Wow.
Living UFOs. So nope is real. Oh, no, that's not good. And that's the UA report. UAP report. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, that was a good one.
It is very good. I think that we are starting to convince people. Do you think we're starting to convince people?
I don't know that I want to convince people. I just want to know what the reality is. I want to know the truth.
Do you really, though?
Yeah, I do.
All right. Well, I have a feeling that the truth is going to be one of the things we covered. Either it's going to be we're in the food chain, it's going to be locust people. It's going to be something that's not going to be great for people who are under 20 right now. I can tell you that. Everything that we have heard over the course of the last few months are people saying, this really sucks for young people. So something's coming. I can't wait to see what it fucking is.
Huh.
Oh, I gotta pee.